Welcome back to another episode of the Pokemon Game Collection, where we are out to collect every single mainline Pokemon game that exists. Now, it's been quite a few weeks since the last episode of the Pokemon Game Collection, but that doesn't mean things have been quiet. There's been some serious collecting going on. In those few weeks, we've changed the game room. We're in a different room, and as you can see, it's a different film and location. So let me know if you like this location. Let me know if locations mean anything to you, or if you just don't really care where I'm filming. But I'd love to get your feedback on what you think about the background as well, because I do put some time and effort into the whole setup of this. But enough about the game room, because you're not here for a game room tour. That's for another episode. So kick off your shoes and relax your socks while we check out this week's awesome Pokemon game pickups. Now, if you love modern and retro video games and have a particular soft spot for handheld gaming, then you are in the right place, because here on the Chronik Spartan show, we love everything about the world of gaming, especially handheld gaming, which is a big reason why we are out to collect every single mainline Pokemon game. If that sounds like your kind of thing, then hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future content, and feel free to check out any of the previous episodes here on the channel. But without further ado, let's see how this Pokemon game collection is expanded. Now, like I said, it's been a few weeks since I last did a Pokemon game collection episode, and in those few weeks I've been collecting a lot, and because of that, because it's been quite a few weeks, I'm going to need a little bit of a reminder, and I've got my little collection book right here, and in here I've got all the games I've picked up and the prices. So I'm going to be referring to this throughout the episode, because like I said, some of the games I'm talking about I've gotten a few weeks ago now, and I'd struggle to remember exactly how much I paid for them. If you are looking at getting into collecting and you do want to make it something that doesn't absolutely tear apart your wallet, then I do recommend you track the game collecting process, track your prices, track what you've sold as well, whether it's in a little book like this or a spreadsheet. That way you can keep a track of what's come in and gone out, and you're not delving into thousands and thousands of pounds or dollars without even realizing it. Because I can tell you right now, when I add up the numbers in this, it does scare me a few times. But anyway, let's get into it. Now, one of the first pickups since the last episode is a huge pickup, but I'm gonna save that to last. But don't worry, because we got some awesome pickups to start off on as well. First off, we're in the cart generation, and we got a copy of Leaf Green. Now, I have a copy of Fire Red. You saw in a previous episode I got a box copy of Fire Red, and I was tempted to try and get a box copy of Leaf Green, but in all honesty, for the cost of that and how much it will cost this collection, like I said at the beginning of this journey, when it comes to the Game Boy, Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color generations, I'm not going for complete in box. If I ever do find one of them, then it's amazing, but the standard I'm going for is just the cart. And we managed to pick up a really clean, nice condition cart from CEX. This came in at £36.95, which isn't an absolute steal, but it is still a great deal considering how much these can go for on eBay. Now, I will say CEX have been really good whenever I've ordered Pokemon cards, and the fact that all the ones I've received have been genuine. And there are some telltale signs you do need to check out for when you're collecting this generation of video games. Now, there are three specific signs I look out for to see if a card is genuine. Now, the first one can be copied, so this isn't really the definitive way to check out, but the first one is to make sure it's got like a shiny finish on the sticker, because that shows it's more of a quality print that you get from Nintendo. But the second two are the real ones that I follow to make sure a card is genuine. That is that the sticker itself should have an embossed little number in it. Sometimes these can be really hard to see, especially if the card is old, because the actual embossed effect might have been pushed out a little bit, but usually you can spot it, especially if you look closely or with a magnifying glass. For example, on this Leaf Green cart, the embossed number is 12A. And the final sign is at the back. If you look at the chipboard has a certain style to it, and you can get reference pictures online to find out what that is. Leaf Green is a little bit harder to see because of the cart isn't that see-through, but still, if you put the right light on it, you can see the back, and you can see these little circles on the back which correspond to when the actual board is genuine or not. But anyway, another great deal from CEX, and we finally got Leaf Green in the collection. Next up, and this is a big hitter, we finally got a copy of Pokemon Emerald. And once again, we picked this up from CEX, but it's a bit of a funny story with this one actually. This costs £61.95, when the going rate for Pokemon Emerald, not in box, I'd say was about £75. £30. Now, I tried to order Pokemon Emerald many times from CX, but every time they kept on returning and saying it was actually out of stock and they couldn't source it. So when it came back up again the final time, I decided to order 3 just to make sure I finally got a copy. Funnily enough, on that order, I got all 3 of them. Now, I was tempted to just return the other 2, but I decided I'd try and sell them to try and make a little bit of profit and recoup some of the damages in this Pokemon collection. Now, the first thing to notice is that all 3 copies were genuine. They had the telltale signs of a shiny sticker, the embossed numbers, and the correct circuit board. Now, naturally, I've selected the nice, cleanest copy for the collection, but I checked all 3 carts and listed the other 2 for sale on eBay. And as these games are so popular and I put them on for a decent price, within the first couple of days, one of the copies sold. So I packaged up Pokemon Emerald and sent it over to the buyer. And a few days later, I got a message from them saying the game doesn't work. Now, I was absolutely gutted. I don't want to supply any Duff games to anybody. I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to con anybody, so I was absolutely gutted. And immediately I was on there trying to help them figure out what was going on. I took them through all the basics, making sure the pins were clean, putting it in and out of the Game Boy, making sure that the contact was there, and even trying it on a separate Game Boy. But the error they were getting was one that signified that the board was damaged. And the more I looked into it, it was really difficult to get this sorted. Now, fortunately enough, I still had the other version of Pokemon Emerald that hadn't sold yet. So I put the offer out there for them. I said, if you want a full refund, that's fine, or I've got another version which I've just tested and definitely works. I can send you that one. And they, as a gamer, just wanted a copy of Pokemon Emerald, and they said that would be awesome if you could just send me a working copy and I'll send you this one back. Now, as a seller and buyer in this process, that obviously takes a lot of trust for both parties to actually send the games that they say they're going to send. But we did, long story short, and the buyer got the game that he wanted and was over the moon. I then took the Duff copy back to CEX, who were happy to give me a full refund. So everybody was happy. But the awesome part of this story is that through chatting with this guy who was really understanding and really friendly, we got into a nice little conversation about Pokemon game collecting. And throughout that conversation, I mentioned to him that I was on this Pokemon game collection journey. And he said, let me have a look. And he decided to come and check out the YouTube channel. And now we're mates on Instagram. And it just goes to show that this whole little world of video game collecting is about so much more than just collecting dusty old cards. Funny little story that just goes to show that if you're understanding, patient, and nice with people, a lot of positivity can come from that. But anyway, that's just a long way of saying we got Pokemon Emerald in the game collection. Next up, we have now finally got a copy of Pokemon Black version. Now, I've had Pokemon White in the collection ever since it released, and it's my favorite Pokemon game in the whole series. However, until recently, I wasn't really one to get both copies of Pokemon games within a generation. So Pokemon Black was always one I never felt the urge or the real need to go out and get. But now that I'm collecting all the mainline games, this is definitely one that I needed in the collection. And now we finally got it. And we got it for a nice price of £36.83. Now, this one was not a CX purchase. This was an eBay purchase. And once again, it just goes to show that if you take your time, if you're patient, if you don't try to get your whole collection in a couple of weeks, you can find some decent prices. Now, as you're seeing with these prices throughout this collection, very few of them, there's 1 or 2 that are maybe a steal. Most of them are just really good deals, maybe about £5, £10, or even £20 underneath their asking price. But bit by bit, all those little savings add up. And it means that throughout the journey of a whole collection, you could save yourself a good few £100s if you're just a little bit more patient. And with those extra £100, that means that you're able to maybe get some of those more sought after and more difficult to find parts of the collection that you might have had your eye on at the beginning but felt like you wouldn't be able to attain. And you'll see the evidence of that very soon. Now, getting back onto Pokemon Black, this is a nice copy. And once again, all of these generations and onwards, I'm going for complete in box. And I mean manuals and everything, including any little extra inserts that they came with. And as you can see, this is a great copy. It's got the manual in there. It's got all the extra inserts that came with the release as well. And it is the actual proper external print cover as well. As you saw in the previous episode, we've had a few doozies with some of the Pokemon Black and White 2s, which we got sorted out in the end. Once again, a nice copy as well of the DS cart. And as always, I will be getting B-roll of all of these games, and it's probably running right now for you actually. So then you guys can have a closer look at this collection, but a nice, really clean, great quality copy of Pokemon Black version. Now next up, we're going for a double whammy here, and we've got Pokemon Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun. Now earlier in the collection, you'd seen that we'd gotten a copy of Pokemon Sun and Moon, and both of those were sealed. We got them from Argos for an absolute steal. Now at the time, Argos were also selling the Ultra collection at highly reduced price as well, around about £15, but unfortunately they were sold out throughout the UK. It was so hard to find a copy. So I'd been on a mission to try and get Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun as cheap as I could. I had to play the game of, do I wait longer to see if I can get those games really cheap from the second-hand market, or do I try and get a great deal now because they are pretty much close to as low as they can get? If there's anything I know, when Pokemon games are around about £15 to £25, that's when they're at the cheapest. So I was on a mission to get Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for around about that price each. And honestly, we didn't do that bad. We got Pokemon Ultra Sun for £21 and Pokemon Ultra Moon for £27. So collectively, that fits within the range we were looking to pay. And I'm really happy with both of these. Again, great quality. They've both got all of the inserts, as we always like to have. And again, I'm really happy with the quality of both of these. Really nice condition, inside and out, with all of the inserts for both of them as well, and great quality cards. And once again, like I said, I will be running B-roll on both of these. So me showing you now is probably pointless because you're probably watching a different video clip. But regardless, we have Pokemon Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun in the collection. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. I told you there was a big one at the end here, and I am so excited to have this in the collection. And that is Pokemon Heart Gold with a Poké Walker. Absolutely complete in box. Now I know what you're thinking, it was literally just a couple of episodes that I said I did not need this because I've got Pokemon Soul Silver with a Poké Walker in the collection, and last episode we got a copy complete in box of Pokemon Heart Gold. So why on earth did I get this? Well, hear me out. During my searches on eBay, this was around about the time when I was checking every single day, every couple of hours, what new listings were popping up, and one day I saw this pop up for £99. A complete in-box version like this can easily go up to £200, and on that day alone all other listings were at least £150. But the thing is, it was being sold from a second-hand distributor. It wasn't like a personal seller, it was one of these like thrift shops online, and they didn't really have that many pictures of it. They had no pictures of the insides, but it was described as complete in box in great condition, and it was for £99. And I decided I'm gonna take a risk on this. I'm going to take a punt because I had Pokemon Heart Gold anyway, which I could then sell on, and I have done, and recoup a little bit money for that. We gained about £20, I'd say. So all in all, we got this for £70. Now, once again, like with Soul Silver, I'm not going to open it right here. I will do some B-roll of this, but I can tell you this is everything I hoped it was going to be. Complete in box, great condition, Poké Walker, all the inserts, etc. Now, I did take a risk because those pictures were not on the listing, but as it was one of these kind of thrift shop sellers, I did trust it, especially considering the pricing of it as well. £99 is in that wheelhouse of it still being a fantastic deal, but around about that price you might expect to see it for someone that's slipping when selling something like this. And honestly, I know I said I didn't need this in the collection, but I am so happy I've got it because right next to Soul Silver and with Fire Red in the middle, this looks amazing in the middle of the little Pokemon shelf that I've got set up, but we'll get some B-roll of it and you can see this in all its glory. And like I said a little bit earlier in the episode, when you save a little bit here and a little bit there and it adds up into a few £100s on other games, it means that you've got a little bit more money that you can splash out on some of the bigger pieces in your collection. Now I'm so happy with how this collection is going. It is growing really well, and I feel like we've gotten a lot of the difficult big hitters out of the way early, which means that hopefully the rest of the collection should be pretty smooth sailing. If you want to check that out and see how it goes, then hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. Once again, thank you for watching and see you next time.